Hi there, it says I'm live. Been watching that second hand on that clock to click the button. Let me scoot some of these things around here. All righty. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for October 30th. October 30th is the 303rd day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 304th in leap years, with 62 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is contrarian. Contrarian can be a noun or an adjective. As a noun, contrarian means a person who opposes or rejects popular opinion, especially in stock exchange dealing. You'll hear that word a good bit around stock trading. Contrarian. As an adjective, contrarian means opposing or rejecting popular opinion, going against current practice. This word comes to us from contrary, which comes from Middle English and Anglo-French, Latin before that. First known use of the word contrarian is 1954. All righty, I'm going to take a minute here to update you about my computer issues, as I had updated iMovie, which is what I use to edit, and it didn't work. And I mentioned it in my community that I had installed the latest update for iMovie, and it just doesn't work. I mean, it'll open, it looks like it's going to work, but the instant you move the cursor, you get the swirling rainbow of death. And I've force quitted that app and restarted my computer dozens of times, and it still doesn't work. And part of the issue may have been the operating system. I'm updated to the latest operating system and it still doesn't work. So I don't know what's going on with that. I began to think, am I the only one? And I know that you can find answers to how to do just about anything on YouTube. It's a search engine. So I went on there to look and see people having problems with iMovie not responding. Most of those videos were from 6 months or longer ago. And so somehow then I found myself in the App Store where the reviews are and began to see 1-star reviews about it won't work. A tip that I have is that if you really want to see the most recent matters about a thing in reviews is to sort them by date if you can. And sorting by date, they're all 1-star reviews and complaints about not being able to use it. So I don't know what's going on with that. Apple needs to take a look at iMovie. They need to fix that. In the meantime, I also got on YouTube and looked for other video editing software. So I haven't attempted that yet. I mean, I've looked at it, but I haven't attempted to download or sign up. There's most of them you download. There's one that you can work on the cloud. I'm going to be looking at some of those today. So there you go. One of the editing softwares that was recommended was kind of like the paid version of, the step up from iMovie. And I thought, I'm not touching anything that has to do with iMovie until they get this fixed. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. So in the meantime, I'm live today. And let's get on with today's items from history. We'll start with the birthday of an artist named Angelica Kaufman, born October 30th, 1741. We don't often hear about women artists in this time period, especially from this time period, but she was a Swiss neoclassical painter. She painted what were at the time called historical scenes. They would be scenes from actual history, ancient Greek history, mythological stories, but they were called historical painters, historical scenes. That's what she really loved to do most of all, was the historical scenes, but she was also an adept portraitist. and did some landscapes too. Ms. Kaufman lived to the age of 66. Now you might remember, pardon my throat. Oh dear, and I got in here without my coffee. Okay, well, we'll just suffer through this without coffee. You might remember that we have talked about Anne Frank before. She was the young teenage girl. She had received a diary for her birthday, and she wrote in it as her family was being kept hidden during the time of Jewish persecution in the early 1940s during World War II and the work up to World War II. Somehow they were discovered. We think that someone ratted them out, but the source that I read yesterday said that's never been proven. Well, somebody had to tell the officials that they were there and where they were, so I don't know. But yeah, the whole family was arrested in July of 1944 and sent to concentration camps. And on October 30th of 1944, Anne Frank and her sister Margot were moved from Auschwitz to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. Sadly, they would die there, most likely from typhus, shortly before the end of World War II. We know something of Anne and her situation at all because she kept that diary. And when the family was taken away, her father's secretary, Miep Gies, managed to save that diary. Her plan was to give it back to Anne after the war. Unfortunately, Anne didn't survive, but her father did. He was the only member of that family that did survive, and he came back, and Miep gave the diary to him. And apparently, Anne had always wanted to be a writer, to be published, and so he made it so. He arranged it to be published as The Diary of a Young Girl. And that book has since been translated into over 70 languages. October 30th of 1945, Jackie Robinson of the Kansas City Monarchs signed a contract with the Brooklyn Dodgers, breaking the color line. That was a huge move, brave, courageous thing to do, and he was just the person to do it. There's a lot more about that out there in baseball land. You could learn more about Jackie Robinson. Robert Goulet was an actor and singer who worked on stage and movies. He played Lancelot in stage movies and television. He was on television quite a bit too. He played Lancelot in the 1960 stage play of Camelot and soon came to be known for the song If Ever I Would Leave You. Beautiful song. It still gives me goosebumps. It became his signature song. After the run of that stage play, he appeared on several TV shows, which got him in front of a wider American audience, and he recorded over 60 best-selling albums. He had quite a voice, Robert Goulet. He performed in dozens, if not hundreds, of TV shows in a career spanning nearly 6 decades. Robert Goulet passed away on October 30th, 2007, at the age of 73. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. As always, links to my sources are included in the show notes. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video, and thank you for that like that you already have given me. Let's see here. Anyone who hasn't already subscribed, please consider doing so. And remember that you can share this video with the link in your email, messaging, or social media. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hopefully on an edited video. We'll see. We'll see how that works. If I can't get something up with editing, then we'll be live again tomorrow. All righty. Until then, let's see. Now we're going to look for the thank you very much button. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Have a beautiful day.